Welcome to Florida Ball Hockey. Let's see how this game goes. Now, there's some good defense coming up here. White gets on the board early. Now here you're going to see Dark coming in. They've got numbers. They got a good shot there, but managed to direct that rebound into the corner. That's pretty important. Now here White does a great job of keeping Dark to the boards, keeping them out of the slot, keeping him from making a clean pass. Speeding down into the corner again. Again, I think they're doing a pretty good job, White, of trying to keep it below the goal line. So Dark has to try and put it over the net. That's not a clean pass. White has 4 down low. Good numbers. Again, strong defense here. Little bobble, but he comes after it again and he stays on the man. So White is doing a good job down low. Now we're going to see here that they still get the shot away, but because there's so much pressure on Dark up top, it wasn't a good shot. That shot, that was an easy save. I could see it all day long. Here they get another quick breakaway, but I just closed the gap on the ball. Attack the ball is pretty important here. Now you can see they have numbers. Dark has got 3 down low. I knew that was going to be a hard shot and they're going to go for the rebound. So you got to be on top of that and looking for that rebound. You know you can get the shot because you can see it. Dark comes in. Now White has numbers here. This is good. However, as you're going to see, that doesn't happen all day long. Again, White has 3 down low. Now this ball, I lose sight of it completely, but luckily the D comes in, sees it, scoops it up. Man, that thing was just rolling on the goal line. Super lucky. That clear didn't quite happen, but White is all over these guys. It's making it hard for them to get a clean shot away. That shot missed the net. Now, White's not clearing, and here there's an open man, but they swarm the ball carrier, prevent him from getting that ball to the open man. Again, Dark doing a great job of getting into the zone. They were in the zone all day long. Good shot on net. Almost got that rebound into the corner. That was a great opportunity for Dark. Again, great points, shots. There's another good point shot, but lots of people in the way. That thing hit the side of the net. Again, keeping Dark down low, below the goal line. Great strategy. Can't really score from there. You got to put it up in front of the net. White puts another one on the board. Again, good job of White throwing it into the corner, keeping it out of the slot. Now there's an open Dark down low, and that shouldn't have happened. 2 guys took the ball. Now this ball is going to come back here, you're going to see, but White does bring their forwards back, and they're trying to keep the numbers even. Here you've got all 5 White in the slot. That was a little tricky of a save. Just managed to get it off my elbow there. All right, now, White's doing a good job of getting it out of the zone because they have all their guys in. Here's 5 White in the zone. This is great defense by White. Now Now there's a dark open on the back door. No one's near him. That could be a problem. Very aggressive of trying to keep that thing to the boards. White's doing a good job. Again, pushing them out to the boards. Before that point shot gets away, White grabs it. Really good zone protection by White. Now Dark comes back. They have an opportunity. They're rolling with the ball. That was a good chance. Just missed the net. Now here you're going to see there are two Dark and down low, three White behind them. This is not a good play. And this ball has a straight line to the Dark. There's no Whites in the middle to block that thing. He gets a good shot on net. I did see that situation, so I kind of had a sense of, obviously, the only shooters are in the slot, so I know it's going to go to the slot. White scores again, 3-0. Again, Dark gets a good break. That is on the D. It went right between two D, not good. Here White again gets a break. Now, sorry, Dark gets a break. Good shot, good shot. Now, that thing hit my pad. You're going to see it here. It hits my right pad. But there's a guy in the back door, and he's open. Nobody should be that open. And he gets the rebound. That defenseman in the slot needed to be farther back. Needed to be right on top of that Dark forward. So, White scores 4-1. Here we go. Period number 2. Now this one's going to have a lot of activity. So I gloved that one. Here I did see the guy in the slot. Right there. So I had a view of him. Getting over to the middle was a bit of a 2-step. I wanted it to be a 1-step, but I needed 2. So that save was probably harder than I made it look because I had the extra step. Good pass into the slot. I make the thing bounce off my glove and we get it cleared. On the board again, 5-1 White. Now you can see 2 White right in the slot covering these guys. That's great D. They're keeping the ball carrier down low, but no one had the guy up top. Luckily, there is enough traffic. They're not getting a good clean shot on net. Now D is going to do a good job here covering this guy in the slot, and it allows me to just focus on the shooter. Again, another quick save there. That guy should have been covered. And this guy is completely open in the slot. I don't know why there's no D on top of him. They're getting a lot of shots on me here, but I think the defense is doing a good job of trying to clear it. A lot of scrambling. Now this one could have been a bad thing, but that D got that back door closed. Now here you see off to my right, there's a forward completely open, should not be like that. But luckily that pass did not connect. Now he still gets the shot and it goes into the slot, and another Dark picks it up, gets the shot on net. That was not an easy save. It was bobbling around. This one, I kind of see it happening, so I just take position. A lot of today was position. You're going to see him at the top of the crease a lot today. That one was off the D, not me. And here the forwards get a good control of the ball for Dark. That one hit my leg. I got lucky. I just threw it out there. Now, again, that ball carrier should have been plugged up, but he had a good clear opening. No one's stopping the forward here, and there's 2 Dark. That should not have happened. They got a shot and the rebound. This one's coming around the back door, but the D is there, has a good opportunity to keep it from getting in front of the net. Now this one, that hit my glove. That was just a quick snapshot and a reaction save. I just got lucky. That was going for the top of the net. Dark is doing a good job of keeping it in the zone here. Another save off my pad. And again, finally, white clears it, but back they come. And again, dark has shot right there. Dark is doing a good job of staying in the zone. Another shot on net, but he bobbled it. Now that's a save. Here, white finally clears it from behind the net. Dark does a great job. 2 on the 1. Again, dark keeps it in the zone. Finally, it gets cleared. Nope, here it comes back. Almost. That guy on my glove side was wide open had the ball got to him. Nobody was there. Here comes dark again. Now, here dark has numbers, but white catches up. Great shot. I made the save. I didn't really know where it was. I just knew where the shooter was and just tried to take position. White on D leaves this man open for the shot, which is fine. I had a good clear view of him. That thing almost went in. Again, the D did a great job of clearing that. That ball was on the goal line. Defense does a good job here, again, keeping him to the outside. Now, open shooter, I make the stop. That was a little hard to see. I make the second stop. This is just scrambling now. There's no thought process in those types of plays. Just looking at it in slow-mo. Here's another save. Hit my glove and went out. This one just tapped off the D. Luckily it went away from me and not into the net. Again, that one is off a pad. This is just scrambling. They're getting a lot of shots here. Good shot, hits me again. This one hit the net. If that was just a few inches to the left, that was a goal. Here we go, third period. Now white starts to do a better job on cutting down the shots. Because that was a terrible second period in terms of shots on net. Good shot here, but the D gets in the way. This is great defense here. You see this whole sequence. He comes back in front of the slot, and white D covers it. He's taken on 2 men. Amazing. He's giving himself credit right there. White 6, dark 1. Now, this shot is going to be an open shot, hit my glove and off and away, but D should have had that. Now the defense here does a good job of a clear, but dark at the point picked it up. Good shot back on net. 7-1. Looks like white's really pulling away. While I always want the shutout, I'll take a 1-goal game, but sometimes it's not to be. It's a good shot on net, big rebound, big rebound. Another good shot on net opportunity, but the white forward got a stick on that, popped it into the corner. Now, dark is still swarming. They're still in the zone. They're not letting the zone up. White's doing a good job of keeping them to the outsides. And there he got a stick on it, allowed me to grab that. That wasn't going to go in anyways. Dark gets a shot. Now this thing bounces. I had to slide for that. However, that leaves the other side open. That actually hit me and went in. I can't tell you how annoyed that was. Let's see it again. We're going to slow this down. Dark has the shot on that. It's going to bounce. Nobody has dark. I had to throw a leg out. Managed to get it. Now no one is covering the other side of the net. Right there in the slot. He needed to come over quicker. I think I got in his way. He couldn't get to the ball, and it bounced off me and in the net. All right, fine, I'll take the blame on that. Easy stop. And again, Dark is really trying to get a goal here. They do a good job of keeping up the pressure, but I'll say White's defensive play this whole day was really good. That one's off the post, not off me. Good shot. I could see it though. Here's another opportunity they have because they got a man in the slot, but I see that he was there and I knew I needed to get across as soon as that pass happens. So I made the stop. You see that forward here, he's behind the net to my glove side, but White does a good job of tag teaming to keep him down low. White does a great job here. He just keeps the ball moving. Now, Dark kept it in the zone. Finally, there's a breakout. Dark's got a good opportunity here because they've got a man open on my glove side. They just got to get him the ball. No one's covering him. The defense in the slot is supposed to get that, but it made it through. He got the ball. He bobbled it. The second shot, it hit us. Hit the D, and then it hit me. Great save on the other end. Sorry you couldn't see it. All right, what a great game. 7-2's the final, folks. Thanks for joining us. The traditional shaking of hands, as is the nature of hockey. Fight and fight and fight until you don't have to fight anymore. Subscribe, Florida Ball Hockey.